It's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barrero's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
What do you like better, the Blue Barn or the Brewster Barn?
Oh, boy.
I mean, speaking of, cross-pollination there, you could, after Brew's run here.
Well, it would be fitting to have Maturi Pavilion right next to Brew's Barn.
It would. It would.
It would be very, very fitting.
That's very, very true, Davey. What do you got for us?
This will be the last day we do it. If people are like Tom Crean and they're annoyed by all the celebrities and the New York stuff.
Yeah, he must have listened to one of our podcasts. I think he was directly going after you.
I think he was. And I thought we were tight.
Yeah,
we text and talk more than people know.
That's true.
But we got to get Larry David's reaction to
I have
Game
no
4.
problem with that, yeah.
And he was on the Rich Eisen show, which you can hear on KFAN Plus. He's part of the family. He's part of the iHeart family. And he joined today. And so I'll just give you a little snippet of their conversation.
What's up? How are you, sir?
I'm still recovering. Yesterday, I was spent, completely spent. I'm sure it shortened my life. that whole experience, which I can ill afford at this point. It was insane. Never experienced anything like that. And by the way, I'm not supposed to be at stuff like that. I'm supposed to miss stuff. I'm the kind of guy, like, when there's a party and I go home from the party, I'll get a call the next day. Why'd you leave? The women were taking their clothes off and jumping in the pool. So that's my life. I'm not supposed to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. And
so
yet,
the whole thing is so. Not only is the comeback shocking, the fact that I witnessed it it's a double shock.
Well, I know you're not fully attuned about viral things that happen, but you went viral based on your reaction to Josh Hart having the opportunity to give the Knicks the lead for the first time, and then it goes off the back iron instead of him dunking it.
Yeah, that was tough.
What was that? What was going through your mind at this moment, Larry?
I just how did he miss that? Oh my God! And now it's over. I just thought it's over. If you miss that, you can't recover from that. We're done. We're done. So it was devastating. I was devastated.
The women started taking their clothes off and jumping into the pool.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if does he have a writer who writes that line for him?
I don't think so.
Does he write it for himself, or does he just come up with it off the cuff?
Well, I do know that he and Seinfeld, which, by the way, is not sitting together at the game.
Schism?
No, because then there's a great video of Jerry going up to him after the game, slapping him on the back, and then they're talking. Maybe they came up with it together. Maybe they workshopped it. I don't know. I love it. Question. Of all the celebrities that were at that game, who would you want to sit with the most? Would it be Larry David? Would it be Ben Stiller? Would it be Sandler? Would it be Taylor Swift? Would it be Alex Rodriguez, John McEnroe?
It would either be McEnroe or David. But then the question is that because those two guys fascinate me the most? Am I better off actually going with somebody who might be identified more clearly as a Knicks fan and to really break down basketball? I don't know.
Right.
That's
I think
question.
with McEnroe, we played him yesterday. You could. He was talking about the threes and the Spurs.
He seemed to be on top of it. I don't know. And maybe Larry is too, and I just don't know it. Probably, though, realistically, I think it wouldn't be Steph Marbury. I know that. And by the way, we found out on the project today that if the Spurs win tomorrow night, and that means obviously there'll be a Game 6, right, in New York, and that if there is a Game 6, Double T is slated now to go. I didn't hear the part about how he ended up, with the ticket, but he's a former Knick.
He should be.
So, like all these other pseudo New York Knickerbockers, he's got more of a right to go than many of them. I just assumed that he just didn't want to be part of the madness. Not that he couldn't, but they didn't want to. But it sounds like there's a decent chance that if there is a Game 6, which I expect, by the way, that he would be at the Garden. And, I mean, in all seriousness, that's the perfect time to go. Your chance, because they can end it there then. You win the World Championship for the first time since 1973 at the Garden, at home. You want to talk about a scene for the ages? If you're Double T or whoever, that's the game to go to, right?
I hope he gets to go, because I've been surprised that he hasn't figured it out, because like he said, when he joined last week, he talks to Ewing all the time. He and Ewing are tight. He introduced me to Patrick Ewing at his first charity deal in high school.
That, yeah.
Like, I went up to say thanks to Trent.
And then he blew you off for the autograph, right? You asked Ewing for an autograph and he ignored you?
No,
that was Kareem.
That was Kareem. I didn't ask Ewing for anything. I just thought it was cool that Trent brought me over and said, "You want to meet Patrick?" I'm like, well, yeah, I want to meet Patrick Ewing. I was 16, maybe 15. But I'm surprised, actually, that Trent hasn't gone back more, because I know he won the title with the Bulls, but he's definitely more associated with the Knicks. I mean,
no question.
He was a big-time player for the Knicks.
That's right.
They changed the rule because of Trent Tucker for a shot that he hit with the Knicks. So I hope for his sake he gets to go back. So I'm sure it'd be great for him to see all those guys and experience the Garden, which he absolutely loves. A quick NBA nugget, or Timberwolves nugget. We talked a little bit about it earlier in the show. We talked about it with Tom Crean. We talked about it on Enough Said tonight after the World Cup and at 9 o'clock on Fox 9+. This is from Sam Amick, and then Eric Nem, I think, is how you pronounce it. He's the Bucks' Johnny Krasinski for The Athletic in Milwaukee. They wrote about all the different Giannis permutations. And I'll just read the paragraph. The Timberwolves, meanwhile, are also seen by some as an emerging option for the Bucks. Even though Giannis is known to prefer a trade involving a team in the Eastern Conference, league sources say the Bucks are interested in what Minnesota has to offer. If the Timberwolves want to get into the mix, league sources say the Bucks would want a package including, wait for it, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Terrence Shannon Jr., and their 2 tradable first-round picks. That would be number 29 in this year's draft and number 23, or I should say, and the 2033 first-round pick, to which Johnny Krasinski says,
boy, this is a big package.
Do you know the biggest problem with that proposal?
What's that?
It means Julius Randle is still here at the Wolves.
Oh, boy. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, that's because you're not going to, I don't think you're going to trade him too, are you?
Oh, man. So,
Or do you trade Randle and another one for Kyrie?
I would do that.
Then you got...
Yeah.
So then your starting lineup would be Kyrie and Ant at the guard spots, right?
Yep.
Greek Freak up front with Rudy Gobert, one would assume. I don't know how that's going to work out unless you're trading him too.
Right.
And who would be the other forward?
I'm trying to think.
Reed gone.
So you're saying we're doing both trades?
Well, I'm just saying, what if maybe that's the plan? We're going to go the opposite of what you want. We're going to go even top heavier.
Man. Yeah, I'd have to think about that, who our next forward would be. I'm going down the list. I'm going down the bench.
Maybe we'd only need 4 starters with 3 guys that good.
Especially if you have Rudy and Giannis just guarding everybody.
Yeah.
Because Giannis is a good defender. So, yeah, I don't like... Well, the problem is, though, we don't have any more tradable firsts if we do the Bucks deal.
So
we couldn't do the Randall deal with Kyrie.
I don't think there's any chance that Conley would give up that much. But maybe he doesn't expect to. You know, maybe that's the old, okay, we're going to send these vibes out because that's the way the game is played. I am more interested in Giannis than you are, I think, but I'm not willing to give up that package. No, that would be too much. Unless, as I said, there's 2 other trades I don't know about that somehow we could make.
On June 15th, 1931, maybe June 14th, might have been the day before, Dr. Henry L. Williams passed away from heart trouble and lung complications. He was 62 years old. He was the former University of Minnesota football coach.
Legend.
He'd been hospitalized since January of 1931.
Oh, man.
But I just want to read you this. I got to scroll down.
Does this explain why we named the basketball arena after him?
Well, I think the 8 Big Ten titles and the national champion. There were several occasions when death seemed imminent. but each time the doctor revived sufficiently to prolong the final pronouncement of his physicians.
Jeez.
Where is the spot?
What were you looking for? Is there a nugget?
This sentence.
Okay.
That death, because I mentioned, January he's hospitalized. He dies in June.
Okay.
This is 1931.
Yeah.
That death came slowly from that time on was attributed largely to the fighting instinct of the famous coach.
Okay.
With his pulse slowed and his heart all but stopped, he still managed stubbornly to keep the upper hand.
Who wrote this, Sid?
Let me see. George Barton.
Oh, okay.
George A. Barton.
Okay.
So why are we bringing up Henry Williams, the former Gopher football coach, and his death in 1931, so 95 years ago? Because today his name will no longer be on the basketball arena at the University of Minnesota. Williams
What a
Arena.
bunch of greedy bastards. It's unbelievable. It's all about the Benjamins, isn't it?
17 mil over 10 years. That is the reported number.
That's probably how Coyle got his extension with some of this money.
Or Dawn Plitzwhite. See, she got an extension as well.
That's true.
She's making $1.1 million. Dawn Plitzwhite. Good for her. The barn by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. The Williams Arena naming rights deal, or at least this part of it, is official. A 10-year, wait for it, collaboration to strengthen a shared dedication to advancing community health and connection throughout Minnesota and help the University of Minnesota make some money for their athletic department and their school. But it's the barn by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota, right across the street from 3M Arena at Mariucci and kitty corner to Huntington Bank Stadium, the three big buildings down on campus.
It will quickly, like it or not, become the Blue Barn. I just think it's too long. The other one's just too long. I think to be practical, even though I know in an official sense, hey, you got to do what you got to do for the money.
Yep.
But I think that's what it's going to be. The question is, do you say the Blue Barn or Blue Barn? I think you better go the Blue Barn because
Blue Barn.
Other people, and some of the texts that have come in, you might expect how people have projected the concern about calling it the Blue Barn. So we'll just leave it at that.
I believe it. I can't wait for Pat Kessler's reaction
That's
next
true
week
too.
along those lines.
100% right.
The fan has your chance at $2,500. Just enter the keyword. Hang on. Got to reach for it. Got to flip to Friday. Presidential fitness test. Sit and reach. Travel is the final keyword of the week as we celebrate America turning 250 with $250,000 cash contest, and you can win $2,500 of it right now. Just go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword travel.
We have Lavelle coming up at the bottom of the hour. When I come back, I kind of meant to get to this yesterday, but we ran out of time. I sent out a tweet after Game 4 NBA Finals that now has received since 153,000 views.
Wow.
That usually means you've annoyed somebody. I've apparently annoyed a lot of people. I'm going to try to explain, always dangerous, the satire that I was attempting on that day and the degree to which I think there was a misunderstanding of my point. And I will add, part of that reason that I want to get back to it is I am more bugged now by the way the Wolves' playoff run ended since that comeback than I was before. Even if you think I'm connecting things that shouldn't, I am connecting them, and it's bugging me. So we'll cover all of that and then prepare for Lavelle in moments. Guy asks, isn't the Blue Barn already a thing at the fair? Yes, but no big deal. That can be bought off easily. In fact, they might like the cross promotion.
Yes. They should work together.
Yeah, there's a way to, because that's, how long's the fair?
12 days.
2 weeks and change?
Yeah. 12,
not even 2 full
No, not
weeks.
even 2 weeks.
Yeah, 12 days.
Yeah, 12 days
so come
in
on,
August.
man. Come on. You got to play along a little bit, don't you? And I'm a big Blue Barn guy. We're going to be there in moments.
I'm already working on the calendar.
Basically, snap our fingers and it's going to be state fair time. You know that, right?
I'm already preparing.
It's remarkable is what it is. So, big, historic comeback by the Knicks. We've discussed it for the last couple days. And by the way, I mentioned this, Enough Said's going to be on very late tonight on Fox 9 because we've got on Fox 9 World Cup Soccer U.S. hosting Paraguay. So I think we're going to be on Fox 9 at like 11.
Yes, that's
range.
the plan, yep.
And then I think regular time, perhaps, on the Plus. And you and I were kind of, talking about that game itself, the historic nature of the game, what stood out to both of us. And for you, a lot of it was celebrity related. And I mentioned that, to me, a play that I didn't really even know of until I think yesterday, that I think sums up the mythic nature of the experience and kind of the degree to which the fans, the scene, and the Knicks players felt also connected. It's the kind of connection that you dream about, right? If it's your team. So the Knicks take the lead on the Anunoby tip. By the way, Tom Crean, who coached Anunoby in college, recruited him. Great conversation with him that'll be available to you after the show. That ran at the top of the show live.
Getting tickets from OG for tomorrow night's Game 5.
That's exactly right, in San Antonio Davie. So the Spurs still have a chance to inbound the ball and win it. They're down 1. And I think it's Harper is going to inbound it, quarter court sidelines, and Towns is going to be on the ball. And as Towns is approaching the sidelines to defend as legally as possible, or illegally without getting caught, you can see him signal to 2 Knicks fans to move closer to the inbounder, Harper. And I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like it. I just thought the refs were going to move him back again a little bit. But to an extent, it is tight on the court. I've never seen it tighter, but I'm not saying that had anything to do with Harper, with a Cat tipping the ball, because ultimately the Spurs didn't even get a shot off, right? Before the buzzer. Because the pass ended up being a little bit short. Cat got a hand on it. But that whole scene, I don't even know if it should be considered legal, but it captured the absurdity of this whole deal. And it captured, as I said, hey, you help us out a little bit more. Get a little bit closer to the inbounder, almost like you're hounding him and you're trying to crowd his space. It was a great moment. You can find it online very, very easily.
I can't believe the officials let that happen, by the way.
I can't either. That's why I say, like, usually they do. They certainly make sure the defender doesn't crowd the inbounder.
Yes.
So I was stunned by it. But maybe they got lost in the eyes of the fans as well.
I think they might have.
It's just crazy the way they were all working for the same cause. So the tweet I sent out after the game read as follows. Jalen Brunson did not congratulate Spurs bench with 8 minutes left. That's the one that has elicited fairly close to unprecedented response with now 162 comments, 674 likes, and 153,000 views. And I don't know what views means, but it must mean it's circulated a little bit.
You're going to make like $15 off that tweet.
Okay, might I get a little royalty?
A lot of engagement,
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. And I don't even know where to begin. I mean, we're in a Twitterless world. I get that. And people were saying, well, the first misunderstanding is they assumed that it was all meant to savage Anthony Edwards. I've made my position clear on the Edwards part of it. I didn't love it, but I wasn't vicious about it. I wasn't religious about it. We talked to Crean about that too. And I didn't come out of it going, well, now, the thing that bothered me about people who were mad about it was they took it as an indicator of lack of competitive spirit in his case. I think he's already pretty much settled that particular issue to where when he did what he did, as unusual as it was, that it would matter. So the next thing I got was completely different situations. One was a closeout game. The other one, why would Brunson go over there and the series isn't over? That's the Twitter. Those are the Twitterlists who are missing the larger point. Because as much as people are saying two completely different situations, that's what's bugging me. Because they were in the same situation, largely in the same situation in terms of the game conditions. Both teams were getting killed at home in important games. In the Wolves' case, it's the game that's going to wrap up the series if they can't win it. Okay? And to me, the reason I wanted the tweet to sting is I came out of it saying, look, we were both bugged by the lack of competitive spirit in that game back then. Tim Conley has acknowledged and has seconded that motion. He's not pleased with it either. He even said that's part of why we're going to have to look around here of the way we have tended to close out and get eliminated in these series. But what was different and glaring between the two teams, the Knicks now, the Wolves then, against the same team, the Spurs, both times at home, was how the two teams reacted to similar circumstances. One kept coming, kept driving. In a game, by the way, they didn't even have to win. The Knicks did not have to win. The other team, the Wolves, with their season on the line, surrendered, thereby opening the door to a coach doing what he did, pulling the plug. Even Tom Crean believes it was a little early to pull the plug, but the conditions were there for that being a possibility for him to do it. And then that opened the door to, if Anthony Edwards wants to make history doing what he did, he could do that only because of what had come before. So I'm not really so much, I wasn't trying to rip the Anthony decision. I'm ripping the conditions that got ripe the way they did because of the Wolves' refusal to continue to even try to compete. That's what bugged me. I mean, and when I say Brunson didn't congratulate the Wolves, I obviously don't mean that literally. He didn't do it because, A, they approached the whole game different, and he never even had to have it in his mind because the Knicks kept coming back. Here's the contrast. 3 minutes into the third quarter, Wolves are down 18 in their game 6. They're down 26 by the end of the third quarter. They're down 37 midway through the fourth quarter. The Knicks down 29 early, but at the same time the Wolves were down 18. The Knicks were down 29 early third. The lead's 15 by the end of the third. And by halfway through the fourth quarter, the Knicks have cut it again, another 6 points to 9. And at that point, guess what? It's a ball game, right? Yeah. It ended up being a ball game the whole way. So for me, it accentuated what I already was disgusted by, that leave aside matchups. I get injuries. The Knicks, I think, are a more balanced team right now, to be honest with you. I also think, though, they're a more mature team than we are. And for me, it underscored the bad taste that game left in my mouth. And now I feel more strongly about it than I even did then. Again, what the Knicks did, nobody's done before. So I'm grading on a very tough curve there, but I just don't like the feel of it because when it happened to the Wolves against the Spurs, wasn't part of the feeling that, you know what, they're wise as a young team beyond their years. You can't really ruffle them. For whatever reason, they seem to have that gene already. That's what we were all left with. Well, what have we found out since? Well, the fact is, if you do it the right way, put the right pressure on, they have some foldability to them as well.
You could argue they should be up 3-1.
Exactly right.
They've blown a couple games.
For me, it all was about underscoring it. I think the Ant fans thought it was me saying we got to cut Ant or trade Ant. And it was just, no. All the circumstances that existed to make the Ant move possible in the Wolves game, I'm bugged that it got to that place. And none of those circumstances percolated in the Knicks occasion because the Knicks wouldn't let it. They wouldn't let it get to a point where their coach might have done something, I think, too early. Because I'll go back to it. Do I think the Wolves had any chance to win that game down, whatever they were down, 30-some with 8 minutes to go? No. I just don't think it's a good look in your elimination game to do what they did. That's the part that bugs me. In any case, let's get a break in here.
I'm going to hit the retweet on that tweet so it gets another couple 100,000.
Thanks a lot.
We're going to spin it back into the algorithm.
Well, so a second run.
Yeah. Can you believe this guy?
Read some of the comments, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
They are.
I'm sure.
Oh, let me quickly. We're way behind, but let me give you my favorite response. I think I did highlight this.
I didn't do a good weather report at like 3:15 today, and you should see the email I got.
Well, some of them came in here. What happened? I was talking to Blakemore at that. No, not Blakemore. Somebody.
It was kind of in the wrong spot. I wasn't ready for it. I had to get the website up, and we got there.
So my tweet again to set up this response was Jalen Brunson didn't go over to the Wolves bench to congratulate their opponents with his opponents with 8 minutes to go.
Bring gas.
Here's one of the responses, and I'm not making this up. And Tim Walz never toned down violent political speech.
That's a logical connection.
It naturally goes with the other, doesn't it? And by the way, that's one of the tamer ones that came in. But I thought one of the more interesting non sequiturs. Let's come back and chat with our favorite non sequitur. That would be Lavelle Neal III. He's next. Gaardsy, what has happened to Kevin Seifert's worldwide leader? World Cup, Day 2, U.S. Premiere 2026 tonight. And they got us playing on the headline, Panama.
Oh, no.
Even I, as a very casual soccer fan, has been convinced that we're playing Paraguay tonight, not Panama, right? Man,
that's
unbelievable.
Tough look for the leader.
Well, let's see what Lavelle, a big soccer guy, has to say about that. Lavelle, how does that happen?
It happens when you're not sponsoring. You're not a big sponsor of the event. It's a Fox presentation.
Good point.
So
you think they did it on purpose, just to mess with it? Maybe it's their own way of trolling.
No, it's just that they probably have some summer intern doing it, and they got Paraguay and Panama mixed up.
Don't make fun of summer interns. Gaardsy was a good one once.
We all had to start somewhere, Lavelle.
Come on, man.
Okay, we all have to start somewhere.
Lavelle, were you ever a newspaper intern during college?
Yeah, way back in the day. And I sure performed like one at times. I was raw. I was supposed to go on this year-long internship plan where I worked 3 months at 4 different papers.
Oh.
The first one was the Kansas City Star. The second one would have been in Belleville, Illinois.
Right.
And the third one would be the Albany, Oregon. I can't remember what the Albany paper was called, but I was going to go to Oregon for the third stretch. So the first stretch was in Kansas City, and 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave for Belleville, I'd already started having conversations with the sports editor, who was really cool. One of the high school reporters got proposed to him, and she came in the office and said, "My boyfriend just proposed. He says I don't have to work. I quit." And they needed someone, and that's how I got hired by Kansas City.
Oh.
And that's what started the career.
The rest is history.
And Bob, tell you, there was a lot of teaching moments going on that summer. I tell you that.
No, yeah, well, that's the idea. I mean, that's what's behind it. The only summer newspaper internship I had was at the Daily Herald, suburban Chicago.
I know Daily Herald.
It's not quite the paper now that it was then, but yeah, it was. Internships are good. Gaardsy, how long were you an intern here?
I was an intern here from September 2003 to April 2004.
Think about that. That's a long time.
Yeah, it was.
You did a bunch of different jobs, including booty crews then, correct?
Oh, yeah, that was when I was interning with Dave Ryan. Yeah, that was for about a year as well while I was working at the Fan. Yeah. And then my job interview with Chad Abbott while I was interning in the chair behind me, he turned around and says, "What's your schedule like?" I said, "Well, I don't really have one."
What do they pay you?
It's more or less. And he goes, "Could you run the board for us on the nights and the weekends?" I said, "Yeah, it'd be great." He goes, "Okay."
And the rest is history.
And that was 2004.
Think about that.
That was all it took.
22 years ago.
Right place, right time. That's what I call it.
Exactly right. No job interview besides my just dogged work ethic.
Dogged work ethic, yeah. That's what it is. Difficulty giving the weather forecast on time.
Big time.
As recently as
today. Which I know people look for.
All right. Give me a prediction for tonight and a score. What's going to happen tonight in Los Angeles, Inglewood, California, more specifically, USA, Paraguay?
I think the United States is going to be playing with a lot of emotion, of course. They're going to feel the love like they never felt before because it's going to be a World Cup and people are going to be fired up and liquored up. But they're playing a Paraguay team whose coach basically says, you guys have to either win or die. And it's going to be physical. It's going to be grinding at some points. I think there's going to be some mistakes. I think there's going to be some brilliant plays. And I think it's going to end in a 2-2 tie. I think
interesting.
The United States will score a couple of goals, but some of the concerns that we have with this team going into the series, going into the World Cup, i.e., goalie play and stability overall of the back line is going to be prevalent as well. So I'm going 2-2 tie, Paraguay, United States, draw, and move on to Australia.
Well, is that considered a moral loss or a moral victory, if that's how it ends tonight?
It'll be slightly disappointing. So I think it would be kind of a moral loss.
Yeah.
People people really believe that the United States should beat Paraguay, it should beat Australia, and then, good night, Irene, with Turkey, who's a very talented team. The tough thing about these first two games, Dan, is that I think both Paraguay and Australia, they're going to have a defensive stance against the United States. They're going to sit back and not try to go through them like Germany did in the last friendly. They're going to sit in what they like to call a low block, get behind the ball and try to make it hard for the United States to break them down. The United States has to figure out ways to create shots, create space, and break down these blocks here. And I think that's going to be a challenge for them. And they also have to be worried about committing guys to the attack to the point where Paraguay may try to hit them on the counter. So I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in this game, good and bad. And that's why I'm calling for a 2-2 tie.
Have the attendance figures been inflated so far? I thought I read a couple stories indicating a belief that FIFA's kind of messing with the numbers the way the Twins are known to.
I haven't heard that. I can't imagine that they weren't inflating the numbers in Mexico yesterday. They were playing in Mexico City. I can't imagine they probably had Azteca was probably packed to the gills.
That would be my assumption. It may have been another game that we were referring to. Did we have any other games? Was that the only game yesterday?
Well,
Canada was today, right?
South Korea played yesterday, too, against, who they played?
Czechia.
And that was here. That was here, obviously. So I don't remember where it was, but I think maybe that was the game where it was the old deal where, like with Twins games, you could look into the crowd and say, well, there's nowhere near that many people here.
Really? I did not notice that. I was kind of trying to keep up with different sporting events at the same time, and I wasn't, like, crowd watching to see. I heard noise. It seemed like there was a good crowd there. Where was that game played? Czech Republic.
Gaardsy, look that up.
I'm looking it up.
He's looking it up right now.
It was in Guadalajara.
Oh, it was.
Attendance 44,985.
Yeah, Guadalajara.
Interesting. Well, yeah. I don't know if that was the game they were referring to or not. Give me the two or three. It doesn't have to be two or three. It could be one or two. Most intriguing, potentially, program transforming players on the U.S. roster.
No, program transforming players. I like that question. Of course, number one is going to be Christian Pulisic because he's become the de facto face of the USA national team, even though I think he's still like 24 years old or something like that. It's funny, I covered Christian Pulisic's father. When I was in Kansas City, there was an indoor soccer league called the National Professional Soccer League, and Mark Pulisic was like one of the key players for the Harrisburg Heat. So that's a little goofy fact there. But he's talented. He didn't have a great run at AC Milan. He was playing a little bit out of position, but he could score. In fact, in the first friendly against Senegal, Pulisic had their first goal. So he could play on a wing. He could play behind the strikers. He's quick. He knows how to find space to get shots off. He's a very smart player. I think he's really evolved nicely in years. So he's often the focal point of opponents. Like they'll try to shut him down or chop him down to thwart the rest of the United States attack. But I think this is one of the rare World Cups where I think that the United States has like attacking options. I'm a big Florian Balogun guy. He just scored 19 goals for Monaco this year, and if you get the ball to him in the box, he's got a great chance of scoring. I'm really fired up about him. So he's the second guy. He should be starting at up front. And I know someone's going to argue. Some people may argue with this third one, but I'm going to lean on the best defender, which is Jedi Robinson. He's a left back. He was actually one of the best 11. He was on the best 11 in the Premier League a couple years ago. I believe that's when he was at Fulham. But he's one of the better left backs in the world. He can get up and down the flank. He can put in crosses. He can make incisive plays. And he's just got enough range to get back when he needs to and get up. And Coach Mauricio Pochettino probably is going to play with wing backs, and Robinson will be on the left, just going up and down that wing, playing, helping out with defense when he needs to, and forwarding into the other team's defensive zone when he needs to. I think those are the three guys that I think are come out of this tournament with people thinking more highly of them than they did before the tournament began.
What are your thoughts? Are you a Pochettino guy? What does that coaching change represent to you?
What it means to me is that he's tried. I think we started to see some of this in recent matches. Is that he's tried to get these guys to understand the amount of intensity that's needed to perform well on the international stage. There was some belief. It wasn't him, but maybe he heard it when he was hired. That when players got called into the national team, it was almost like a mini vacation because hey, we're national team guys. We got status now. But they didn't play like their lives were on the line. I think he's instilled that mindset into them at the right time here. And because you think about it, Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Belugan, Pepe, Chris Richards, Sergino Dest, they're all playing in Europe now, and they're all playing on club teams where, there's pressure every day. Like every training session, you have to show out. It's hard for you to coast unless you're like, Messi or Ronaldo or someone, just coasting. But you got to show out to keep your job in the starting lineup. So I think he's done a good job of bringing that over here. And I don't think he's afraid to go to the bench and bring in other options if guys aren't getting it done. I could quibble with a couple of his selections for the overall roster, but, he could throw some guys up there. Pepe could come in for Belugan if he's not getting the job done. Hadji Wright could come in and do something, Sebastian Berhalter, the son of the last head coach, is actually really good on set plays. He can come in and replace one of the defensive midfielders if they're not getting it done. So I think he's instilled that, you got to lay it on the line here. And I think once the players get on the field and get infused with the emotion and passion that the fans are going to bring, I think that's going to help them too.
612 guy writes, can you ask Lavelle about my bold prediction, he's talking about his, that the U.S. doesn't even get out of groups?
That would be a disaster. This is the most overall talented team the United States have brought to a World Cup. These guys were pups 4 years ago where they got out of group play 4 years ago when they had less experience and then ran into the Netherlands. We saw what happened there. This team is better than that team because they got more experience and guys have proved themselves even more in some of the top leagues in the world. I think, they have a chance. I'm predicting a tie against Paraguay. They have a chance of winning that game. They should be favored against Australia. So if you get a win and a tie in your first two games, you got a good chance of moving on already. And then you take your chances against Turkey. So I'm hoping that the United States comes out strong and proves me wrong and wins 2-1 or 2-0. Micheletti is frightening me because he sent me a wave of texts this morning about he thinks Mexico is going to be like the sleeper team of the tournament. I'm like, this team is trash, man. They've been upheaval for the last 4 years. They got some good young players, but come on. But Micheletti, for some reason, loves Mexico. And I'm like, where's this coming from? I didn't even know he was a great soccer mind.
Great soccer mind. So, didn't they dominate their game, though, their first game?
Well,
South Africa?
They're playing South Africa.
No.
South Africa is that's not one like the powerhouses of world soccer, man. So, but yeah, I'm filling in for Bobby Nightingale. I'm at the Tigers Field right now, so I will have the game on my computer. Wow. I'm trying to keep up with the Twins game tonight against the Cardinals.
I didn't even know they were playing tonight. They're at home?
Yeah, well, it's Friday. When is the team not playing on Friday?
Yeah, well, it's just so they're just so irrelevant. That's the beauty of it.
Let's get other stuff going on. I barely caught your show today, but I heard about the upheaval over the tweet and Brunson's behavior compared to Ant. So you've got other things on your plate.
Well, the weird thing, and by the way, there were a lot of people who liked it, but then there were the people who completely misunderstood it. But that's okay. That's part of Twitter. Twitter is not about nuance. I understand that. The hard part for me, as I've talked about for years, are the Twitteralists who don't understand that things aren't always meant literally. They are meant, rather symbolically. But that's okay. I just was surprised that it reached the crescendo that it did. But I think what happens is it's like anything. You've probably been through it. It gets retweeted by the right person or people, and then it sort of it almost takes off. Gaardsy's trying to give it a second or third life by retweeting it as well. listener is curious if you ever worked for Joe McGuff or Dale By at the Kansas City Star.
Yes. McGuff was the editor of the entire paper when I was there. And Dale By was my first editor, and he was there through the first 6-7 years at the Kansas City Star before Din Mann replaced him, and then Mike Fannin. So, I remember both those guys. That's where I cut my teeth at and learned some hard lessons about journalism and clean copy and fact checking and nut graphing and a bunch of things. So, that was 1989 through 97, and I covered baseball 95, 96, and 97 before I came here to cover the Twins. So, Dale was a triathlete, so we always had to write stories about marathoners and triathloners and covering events in town. I remember those days.
Well, here's how old I am. I interviewed with Dale By when he was the sports editor at the Charlotte Observer. This has to be 78 or 79. And it was one of the weirdest interviews. I found him kind of off-putting. I don't know, just odd to talk to. He's just kind of a strange guy a little bit.
He was peculiar. And I'm not saying that because he lived in Raymore peculiar, but he was peculiar.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
He knew good writing when he saw it, and he could be anal at times. But in the end, you have to say, well, you know what? I was better off working with him because he made me dot my I's and cross my T's. I try to find the benefit of working with everyone I've worked with.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you on that. All right. Lastly, is there any hope for the Spurs? Not so much to win the next game, which I think is certainly possible, but to actually come back and win the series. Have the Spurs done enough to dominate where in their mind they can go, if we just play, we can beat these guys. We probably should have beaten them a couple times already that we didn't. Or do you think it's over, Johnny, whether it ends in Game 5 or more likely Game 6 back in New York, that it's a Knicks world and we're just all living in it?
I think they're good enough to come back and win the series. I really do. But I think the way this series is going, I doubt if they will. I didn't see all of the last game, but talking to people, they were mad at the coaching staff for letting their team come down and jack 3-pointers with 15 seconds left in the shot clock and not running clock a little bit more than they did and giving the Knicks a crack there in the fourth quarter to come back and shock the world. And that's the second or third time during the series where, people were kind of questioning coaching decisions from that staff, and which is strange to me because I know Pop is hanging around the gym a little bit, and there's a pull that has to be felt there. I'm surprised that some of that's going on. That's what's worrying me, just because if you're reading what's gone on in the previous games, and you try to handicap the rest of the series that way, you're going to say that, the San Antonio team is immensely talented. They got some great young players, but they seem to be getting in their own way here. And you're saying that's probably going to continue. Are they suddenly going to snap to attention and have all their I's dotted and T's crossed and be able to hold the Knicks off? I mean, they can, but based on what's happened so far in the series, it looks like they won't.
I think what we've learned early is for them to win, they need to win by 10 or more. If they get into close games against the Knicks are tending to make better plays, smarter decisions, and you can say that is where the San Antonio Davy youth is showing up. That if they're dominating and they're up 15, doesn't matter. But if it's a game that's going to come down to several key possessions, we've seen them, with some questionable decision making, and I think that's the one. I think the Knicks know what the hell they want to do.
Yes. I do, and Brunson is operating at a high level. Even when he's not scoring well, he's still finding ways to have influence in these games. And, Cat's ability, his ability to move and just get in Wemby's way a little bit, I think matters. And the fact that, he's got big man skill, he's a skilled big man as well. That's one of the reasons why, they're in the spot they're in. So, it looks like another former Wolves player is going to win a ring.
I got one last soccer nugget for you.
Really?
You're familiar with Olivia Miles, the new star, phenom, ascending superstar for the Lynx?
Magic Mouth? Yeah, I'm familiar with her.
That's it. I believe, and you may already have known this, or maybe I had read it and forgotten about it, but she scored in high school 17 goals in one season.
That's good. I covered a couple of gals in high school that scored like 30.
So 17 is okay, but actually it's not. I'm assuming it's every.
Tell me how many games was in the season? If it was like 9 games in the season, then that's pretty good.
I think it was 8 games. She scored 17 goals.
That's pretty good. That's two goals a game is pretty impressive.
It's not bad, even in high school. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not surprised though. I mean, because you can see she's got. I feel like she could pretty much play anything. That's for sure.
Didn't she say something about soccer helped her with basketball?
She did say that. She did say that. Yeah, 100% true. All right, what's the Sunday column?
There's no Sunday column. After I cover the Twins games, I'm on vacation. So
what are you talking about? You just took a vacation.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You were off like 2 weeks ago. You were off like 6 days, weren't you?
No, that wasn't me. That was someone else you got me mixed up with.
Oh, all right. Where are you going? Any place you can say? Or are you going to hang locally?
I'll be around for half the week, but it's my brother's birthday week, so
nice.
We always take him on a Twins. We take him on a Twins road trip every year, and this year we're going to Arizona at the end of next week.
Okay.
So, which is funny because we were in Arizona 3 years ago, and I remember Dylan Bundy was starting for the Twins. I'm in the stands telling all the D-backs fans, "This guy's terrible. You guys are going to score 12 runs today. He should be out of the game by the third." Bundy goes 8 scoreless. It was like by far his best outing ever as a Twin. And everybody's like, "I thought you said he was terrible." I said, "He is. I just don't know what's going on today." But we had a blast. My brother likes the heat. He likes he likes the dry 102-degree heat. So we had a good time.
Does he like the Twins? I mean, is he obsessed with the Twins? Does he understand? I mean, why not just take him someplace that have nothing to do with a Twins road trip?
No, he's a big White Sox fan. So,
okay.
But it depends, where the Twins are on the road during his birthday month.
Yeah,
so that's the deal. So we've been to Milwaukee, we've been to Kansas City, we've done Chicago twice, we've done Cleveland, Tampa Bay. That was a memorable trip. God, and what else have we done? And we've done Arizona. We haven't done anything in California yet. So we've done the Cubs. I think we did the Cubs twice as well. So it's been going on for about 10 or 11 years. So good group of people. There'll be about 8 of us going. So we'll have some good meals, yuck it up a little bit. It's a cigar lounge not far from the hotel.
Don't sleep on the White Sox.
Hey, they got some good young talent, man. Their pitching staff is young and upcoming, and they're not breaking down like the Twins pitchers. Jeremy Zoll just talked to us today about injury updates.
I'm sure that was riveting.
18 players, including the minor leagues. It was like 18 players are rehabbing something. It's crazy.
So are we going to fire another training staff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that. If that is, I mean, we've watched some of these injuries. Walker Jenkins running into a wall. He's going to play in the minor league rehab game tomorrow. He's back. Mick Abel pitched well against Verlander on Wednesday. He's going to probably get another start in the minors here soon. Guys are coming back from these forearm strains and these elbow twinges and these shoulder impingements. I don't know if it starts. I mean, they've changed as many trainers as they possibly could. They have Chris Camp, who they paid they write a fat check to, who was a stud at Mayo Clinic. He's like the director of athletic high performance, whatever they call that position, overseeing all this, and these players are still breaking down. So I don't know.
Who takes more vacation time, Lavelle, Rosie, or the project? That's a tough call. There. That's a photo finish right there, isn't it? Gaardsy, what do you think?
I'm just wondering, will we be talking to you from Arizona next Friday, like we are customarily do on this trip? Will you be at the ballpark?
It will be 3:30.
Perfect.
Arizona time?
Based on the time zone change, unless you want to go earlier, then we could talk at 2:30 my time.
We'll text you. Just remember your wallet once you go through security.
Oh, that's right.
Just remember your wallet when you go through security on Larry's birthday weekend.
I totally changed my game. I went and got one of those minimalist wallets, so it rides in my front pocket, so there's no chance of it falling out of the back pocket.
Okay.
Way to learn.
Doesn't that chafe a little bit?
No, not at all.
I just want to be sure.
Let's not turn the conversation.
You should try it. It's much more compact and lighter.
Okay.
And in this day and age where people don't, unless you're at a bar playing pull tabs, you don't need to have a lot of cash on you. So
no, that's true too. Yeah, even better. All right, appreciate the help. Have a wonderful trip. We'll talk next week.
All right, man. Take care.
Enjoy the soccer. That's Lavelle Neal III, who is predicting a 2-2 draw for the U.S. premiere in the 2026 World Cup, which I think will be viewed certainly by our soccer expert, Brett Blakemore, as a disappointment. I think you got to win this game, don't you? Tonight at home, opening game against Paraguay. Come on, man. We'll see how it goes. None of the action, I think, will be on the fan. Let's get a pause in. We are no summer hours for us. We are going the distance, live and local, till 6:30. I did not ask Lavelle what probably is the most appropriate question, given all we know about him. Does he have enough underwear packed? That's from Dan, Minnesota. I did go to chafing. Wallet front pocket does not do it for me.
Really?
It's the safest place, I'm assuming.
It is, yeah.
But I don't like the feel on the leg. It just doesn't. I need it on the back pocket. Admitting that that's apparently not the safest place to put it.
I made the change maybe 7-8 years ago.
Oh, you do front?
To the front.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you have not looked back?
Have not looked back. Yeah, I did the kind of the thin one, see, like Lavelle too.
Yeah, that's
I had
smart.
like the Costanza wallet for a long time. It was way too big.
Slimming it all down is a good idea. Again, a subject way too controversial for most shows, but we don't mind spending a minute or two on it. Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line is open at 64686. Dan, I'd prefer they rename Williams Arena Sweet Martha's Cookie Barn because the Gophers have been cookies for a long time, at least the men. Ooh, wow.
That joke's not going to age well.
Martha can afford the naming rights, in my opinion. That's Adam.
She could.
In White Bear Lake.
You can sell the cookies in the kiosks. Nico's got a squad coming this year. Just be ready for it.
Somebody's saying that the ref did talk to Cat before the inbounds. But
Cat, yes.
But it was to where Cat was allowed to be.
Yes.
On the inbound. He didn't say anything to the two fans.
I don't think so.
Who literally, after Cat's urging, moved several inches, maybe even a foot or two, to their right to get closer, as if you're almost boxing in the inbounder.
It was like a bully on a playground.
It was absolutely amazing. I'm still. Has Cat been asked about it yet?
I don't know. If he has, I haven't seen it.
It's such a great story. I mean, it really is. Because of, again, there's no doubt that's what he did. And by the way, they were more than willing to be part of the action, right? They may think if the Knicks finish this thing off, they'll probably think that they are entitled rings.
Yes.
Right?
Or at least a float on the parade.
Yeah, that might be.
They should be able to go on the parade with the guys.
Very, very true. Dan, I don't have any problems with the U taking money for the naming rights. I do have a bit of a problem with a supposed nonprofit medical insurance organization spending $17 million over 10 years for the naming rights for an organization that needs to keep cutting back on benefits. Spending $17 million seems excessive.
I got a text from
763
a friend of mine with that same concern today.
Really?
That said, as just a business guy, this is interesting to me.
Well, I guess they must do flow charts on what they hope making this deal might mean on the other end, right? I guess how do you prove it? I have actually, I'll
there's
be honest
marketing
with you,
and there's all kinds of stuff.
I've never understood how the naming rights thing could ever possibly be worth the money that companies spend, but clearly many of them think it's worth it.
Branding.
Right? Because they've done it.
Visibility.
I guess it's on the branding thing, yeah.
Yep.
Which is pretty
Henry Williams got 100 years out of it.
Has anybody tried to talk to somebody from the Williams family if they're okay with this?
Somebody should. I mean, remember, he did die in 1931.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know anybody.
If they're even descendants.
Well, descendants that would have known him. This is where my math gets completely messed up.
Somebody's saying that the Larry David line that I'd asked whether he'd written it is actually a line from somebody else, that he stole it.
Which one?
I think the comment about things happening after I leave.
After I leave the party.
That sort of thing, the FOMO thing. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea if that's true. Dan, this is from Jeff. We're going to the Pablo Center in Eau Claire to watch Steely Dan. That's right, Steely Dan, a cover band. I know Steely Dan was your jam. Not saying you need to drive there for it, but letting you know the event is happening. So Steely Dan. Interesting. Showing up, performing in Eau Claire. I wonder what kind of show it would be. I'm not a big, generally speaking, I don't go to see any music anymore, but I'm not a big cover band guy generally. Let me back up. I actually prefer a cover band that covers a lot of different bands. I'm not sure if I'm crazy if it's a specialty band and we're just going to cover only one band's songs. Maybe I'm missing out on something. I don't know.
You're not interested in taking a quick drive near the Dells to kick off summer unofficially, especially now since the Long John Silver's is closed. It feels like it's too long a drive. I drive all the way to the Dells to see Steely Dan. I mean, drive all the way to the Dells. How about Steely Dan? You would do that?
Right? I do that now.
Even with the no Toma truck stop
is the only one left.
Even with the Long John Silver's A&W being gone
in the past tense.
In Toma.
Let's come back, wrap up, remind you what you missed from a very interesting conversation with Tom Crean. Stay tuned.
Show Wrap is brought to you by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the bumper-to-bumper Show Wrap.
Great guest lineup today. The uglydeck.com lineup included, believe it or not, Sunday Sermons producer Brett Blakemore. I'll be with Brett on Sunday. We'll by then be able to review the U.S. World Cup team's debut in Los Angeles tonight. And he joined us to kind of just sort of preview the whole World Cup run, concept, expectations, etc. Lavelle did a lot of that with us between 5:30 and 6 today. Ben Gessling on all things Viking and a couple things Gopher related. We spent some time having fun with the fact that it's Williams Arena no more, or will be Williams Arena no more. Now named after Blue Cross Blue Shield, or what's it called? What's the
barn by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota.
That's correct. Or the Blue Barn, as we expect it might get shortened to, for those who don't have to pay attention to, protocol there. And we started the show with a good half-hour discussion with our guy Tom Crean, and we covered a lot of ground there. Of course, he coached Anunoby, the star of the Knicks' victory in the improbable victory in game number 4. He confirmed the story that's kind of making the rounds that Crean had several of his players with the program kind of in the meat grinder, some discipline issues. He had players, including incoming players, because I think it was 95 when Anunoby came in, send letters of apology to IU players regarding the deportment of others, because he was not involved in any of the chicanery. But it was, I think, Crean's way of trying to be responsible and send the right message. So he confirmed, Crean did, that was something that he asked for. He gave us a good analysis of why Anunoby is so underrated and why it drives him crazy so much. We also talked a little bit about Wolves' options. And for the first time, I think, on air since it happened, we got his reaction to the Anthony Edwards decision to leave the bench early, congratulate members of the Spurs with about 8 minutes to go. So that'll be part of the podcast. First hour of the show, basically right off the top of the program till about 3:35-ish or so. That was the lineup. I don't think I have any guests lined up at this point for Sunday. We'll see how that goes. So Game 5 NBA Finals is Saturday night, correct?
Yes.
And when is the next game? Is Carolina going to wrap it up next game? You think they're going to take care of business? They're now up 3-2.
Yeah, that game's on Sunday.
That's Sunday. Okay.
I think they will.
They might.
I think they will.
It looked like the balance got tipped a little bit last night. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not.
Hockey hotbed, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Think about it.
It's another ridiculous market that wins the Stanley Cup, and we're just sitting here.
Not Charlotte, but Raleigh.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Ridiculous.
It's absurd. Enjoy. What do we got coming up? Fan and a Man of the Air?
Yes, then Dan Patrick.
Enough said tonight late on Fox 9 after World Cup Soccer on that same fine TV station. Enjoy the weekend. I will talk to you Sunday morning at 9.
You want to know why it's loud still? Why? It's the barn.
That's all. I'm done.